I think a quick recap on terminology, quick one, about, I say quick, whatever, about the inhibitions. Inhibitions are tools that are played, okay? They're like a move that you can do in a game between siblings in this case. I'm ego. I think for the most part, the observational point, the storytelling would be from ego. It's all about ego's experience, okay? Remember, this is his story, right? This is ego's story. It's all about him. So it's all about what ego wants and what ego doesn't want, okay? So when it comes to chores, for example, ego doesn't want to do the chores, right? Or doesn't want to do the hard work. Okay, and ego's just trying to play and have mastery over his own world, his own little playground, with his play sets of all his different billions of egos, different kinds, extensions of himself. And Hai is the older sister who uses... Right, back to inhibitions. Right, so they're playing and ego sees, in this case, a chore. And ego uses his inhibition called procrastination. Okay? Now, I can visualize it in my story as like a bubble, a blocker around the thing that they don't want to do. The thought, the thought is usually represented by looking at a thing and it reminds you, I got to do that thing. So yeah, procrastination is a bubble that pops around that. Or if a listener it feels like it's more appropriate, their story, their narrative with these characters and things. I mean, it could be like, instead of a bubble, they are like Harry Potter and they are a wizard and they cast a spell to the stack of chores, ahead, and go like, procrastination, I'll put it off. Don't bother me, go do one. And so, however you want to visualize that works for you. That's my story. Like, that's how the dynamic is. I see it as a bubble that just pops up like, boop. I will use procrastination and I will conveniently forget about it and put it off because I don't want to do it ever. I don't want to. Right? But I don't want to is obviously an attitude of a child, who's rebellious and just lazy and doesn't want to mature, because doing a diligent thing, obviously, this isn't quick at all, is it? Right, going back to inhibitions. Now, Hai can use her own inhibition as well. And one of those is guilt. So she will use that as also like a bubble around things, right? It can be a bubble around the same thing, possibly, but most likely it's going to be around something that ego actually wants, and it goes too far, and Hai's like, all right, no more of that. And her defense is guilt, right? So ego doesn't want to feel guilty. If there's something that ego wants, like, eat all that ice cream, do naughty things, do self-indulgent things. It wants all the goodness, right? Can't get enough. Ego just wants it, right? But all of those things that it's too much, everything in moderation, that's a good helpful tip to go by. Everything in moderation. And this is about exceeding that moderation. And so anything that you exceed that moderation with, Hai is like, no, that's it, my turn. And there's a bubble of guilt around that thing now. And so that helps to control ego, so that ego doesn't just get what he wants all the time. Right, so they're playing this game. They're just egos trying to self preserve, self preservate, and stay in this kind of rebellious, fun but very controlling and very self-centered story experience. It's just a very self-centered experience, and it likes it. It's all right. It's becoming a master of it. It's getting addicted to the mastery of its own little playground, its experience. But Hai is constantly reminding him, no, we must evolve. We must connect. We must harmonize. We must do things in a more mature way. You must grow up, ego. Like, we must grow up because Source is calling. And who knows who Source could represent? I mean, the first guess is, the father figure, the grandfather figure or something. Because if the narrative that I'm portraying is of a story of a family, and we are the young son in the family, then Source probably should be represented as a father figure, right? Or, plot twist, it could be the mother figure. Source could be the mother figure. I mean, we love that, right? With Mother Nature, Gaia. Ooh, I want to start including that stuff. Yeah, that's the first time I made that kind of connection. Okay, good. Anyway, back to yeah, I'm realizing things obviously as I go. Stream of consciousness and all. Higher. That I'm apparently doing a show now, and this is the show. It's called Re.SOURCE. Because we are returning to source. So it's RE, and RE is also like regarding. So it's a double play there. I'm trying to give it a few uses because words usually carry different meanings, and it's cool if you are cryptic enough and clever enough to make a word mean different things, and they can be the same thing, each of them. It's good because usually everything's multifaceted, has different meanings. Anyway, yeah, Re.SOURCE, R-E dash, and then source is all caps because source is the almighty, source is the actual source, the unknown. We're still developing these characters in order for us to learn and grow. The more we grow, the more we'll learn.